I see from organizations and also from people very much focusing on the physical well-being.
Right.
Because, when we had a night out and we didn't get any sleep, the next morning we are, so to say, useless.
Yes.
We cannot concentrate on anything. We are tired and we just hope the day goes over and I can go back home and go to bed. So I see much more people taking care of their mind and start meditating, yoga, and also nutrition is a big, big factor. So on the other side, for me, it is actually career that is very important. Because everybody has a kind of a social life. Everybody has family and friends who provide support. So it might be lesser of a factor, and also community. I mean, we are engaged in community, and we should be engaged in community and give also something back. Because a lot of us are already privileged because we have good jobs, we are in the financial industry, and we have, compared to others, and looking not up, for the ones who have more and more and more, looking a little bit below, there are a lot of people who are doing not as good as we are. So right. Giving to the community, and for me, career is very important, because if you are in a job that stresses you, that you don't like, that is an environment that is hostile, or it demands countless hours without recognition or anything, then you're getting sick. That is for one. Then your social life is suffering because you cannot meet with friends anymore. You're just coming home tired. So you need to look that your job meets your values, for one. It meets your values. It meets your emotional needs. So, that you are in an environment that you can actually grow and strive and be successful, not being put down, not being diminished all the time, but, being supported. Because you will never, ever be good in something you don't like doing. I mean, if you're not good in your career, then you're going to have financial stress, then you're going to have physical stress, then you're going to have social stress. That one leads to the other. And for me, so physical and career, because if you then change your career and you go somewhere else, then your financial stress will diminish, your physical health will get better, and your social life will get better. And obviously you can give back more to community.
Sure. It seems that it is a difficult task for an individual to ensure well-being, right?
Yes.
So normally, they could be confused. They could be because as you pointed out, although career seems to be in middle of everything, and which can have a multiple effect on the other factors. And then there could be a common frustration coming out of that factor when things are not going right in somebody's career. So, what can they do when, it becomes a very important factor for their overall well-being, but it's not,
yes,
doing good?
In a career, and I'm just looking back at mine, and also on the ones of the women's that I have been coaching. If you deal with situation at work that affect negatively your well-being, I think there are several steps you need to take. First, you need to self-reflect. And you need to look at the different aspects on your job that are causing your stress or negatively impact your well-being. And you need to identify the root cause. And When you know them, then you can address them. Because sometimes we have just this negative feeling, like you're getting up in the morning and say, oh, do I have to go there again? But it is just, like a cloud, a gray cloud over your head, but you really don't know what it is. Is it a person? Is it a leadership style? Is it the work itself? Is it the targets? Is it the workload? Is it my colleague who never responds to my emails? So you self-reflect and reflect, and then you identified the problem. The next one obviously is communicate. So then when you have found out what is troubling you, you need to have an open and honest conversation with your manager or your supervisor about your concerns. And you need to share the specific issues that are affecting you. And because sometimes they are not aware of the situation, and this dialogue might actually help them to become aware, to see it, and also to act on certain things. So it might be that some people report to 2 managers. I have been doing this, and they have not been in sync. So each of them gave me tasks and deadlines, and I was always eager, obviously, to meet them. But it was overload on task and too short deadlines. So what I did is I went to both of them and said, well, are you aware that I'm doing this for him and doing this for her? And they said, no, we are not. And so just making them aware already helped, because then going forward, they were talking to each other and saying, okay, I have this, I have that, and they prioritized, and that was obviously much better for me.
Yeah.
Then the next thing would be set boundaries. And you need to be able to say no. And you need to communicate your boundaries to colleagues and also supervisor. And you need to say no when somebody comes, at, let's say, 4:00 and asks you if today you can stay till 6:00. And then you need to be able, and you need to have the strength to say no, because I have to pick up my child from kindergarten, because I have another commitment, and also accepting that it is not appropriate for a manager to come in the last minute unless it's an urgency, and tell you just need to make overtime. So you need to have the strength to set boundaries. Another one is seek support. So don't hesitate to reach out to friends. Just in this case, I mean, if it's an urgency, then reach out to friends. Ask somebody else to pick up your child, or ask somebody else to sit in for you in another meeting, because you cannot do it. So don't try to put everything on yourself. If you are stressed, sit back, take a deep breath. Do not answer in anger on the email that you just received. Do not respond very quickly on something somebody just has said. Take a deep breath. On emails, I said, sleep it over. So I slept the night, and the next day my answer already sounded much better. So I went for a tea, had a cup of tea, was sitting there, and sometimes thinking about something completely different, sometimes thinking it over and reflecting on me. Why did I feel that way? And and then went back to my desk, and that's very important.
Yeah.
Another thing is time management, obviously. Set your priorities right. And that is the advice I have given one of my coaches from from Bangladesh, sit down in the evening and write your task list for the next day. That is, actually, that was the best learning I had. I never left the office without writing my list for the next day, because then I could leave the office and I didn't need to think about it anymore. Otherwise, you have it in your head the whole night, the whole evening. You are not free to, engage in your social and your family life or community life, because you think, oh, tomorrow I have this big meeting. I have to take this. Did I check? Oh, I have to check that number. Oh, I have to talk to this and this person about this and this. And it distracts you. It's in your head. And sometimes at nights I dreamt about it. So having that list, I left it in the office, and and I could leave and I could take care of everything what I had to take care or wanted to take care at home. Next morning, come to the office, see that list, tuck, 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 do the quick task, and everything was good.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one is identify solutions and not problems. If you see something that doesn't work and is bothering you, don't dwell on it. Try to find out how to make it better. That is also helping you in your career, because no manager wants somebody who is always complaining. My question to my team was always, so what do we do? What is your suggestion? And then be ready to have a suggestion. Don't say, I don't know. Thinking it's the manager's job. I mean, yes, it can be, but it looks very good on you if you are the solution.
Yeah.
And if it is affecting you, then you need to think about new opportunities. I mean, if you have the feeling that nothing works, but you have tried everything, I'm not saying look for a new opportunity just because you're upset. You have to have tried everything what I said earlier. And then if nothing works, then you have to look for new opportunities. But one thing I also just suggested to somebody out of Bangladesh: do not give anybody the power to make you feel bad. And I repeat it, do not give anybody the power on how you feel, because how you feel is completely up to you. You are the master of your feelings. Nobody else should be able to make you feel bad, feel small, or feel not accepted. The person might say something to provoke that feeling, but it is up to you to take it on. If you do not take it on, if you put a boundary in between and you know your self-worth, you know that person is wrong, and you know that that person has a malicious intent, or this person is just angry in the moment, or that person has a low self-esteem. And then you understand why this is happening, why this person wants to make you feel bad. But you, yourself, you are in the charge how you feel.
And to your point, Beat, here, because you've touched upon such an important point that I have to just take a minute here, that, the power of not letting anyone, make you feel worse, or, how you feel. I think there should be some kind of immunity development taking place over the years. And when I say immunity, I mean that, when there's a virus, because, we just coming out of COVID, so that could be an example close to everyone's heart. So when there's a virus, we could definitely take a lot of medicine, but again, which we learned during COVID, to increase our immunity to be able to fight with the virus. And I feel from my experience and my interaction that one of the best ways to improve your immunity, in this case, how Biet was sharing her, a very good point, is to increase your overall well-being, of course, and then to be equipped to understand what to expect from these corporate cultures, from the organization that you are working in, what kind of culture they have and what to expect. Because I think that when somebody understands or is aware what is coming next, I think they are better equipped to deal with that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I fully agree with you. It is when you look for a job, it is you must not only look at a job description, and tick the things. Yes, I can do this, and this. You also need to do research. So when you choose a new job, don't just choose it for money, for reputation, for promotion. You also need to choose it for the values you have, for the environment you will be working in, and the support you're getting there. Because money, promotion, or money status, and these things, they wear off very quickly if you are in an environment that is not good for you.
One has to be aware, of the ways they can empower themselves. They have different choices, right? So what is best for them, or what they can do with the time. For example, more and more it is being emphasized that one has to take time to know new things, revisit what they know, because things are changing every day. And maybe, if even if you talk about technical stuff like payment, trade, credit, risk, things are changing. So you may be certified, you may be holding a very big, respectable certificate, from a very reputed organization, but which is obsolete now. So you have to update. That's just an example that I'm sharing.